Hi there, welcome to Island Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Scorpio energy, and for this round of 12 zodiac signs, I'm using the oracle deck called Zodiac 108 by Intuit Oracle. So we'll get a few of these cards out, we'll get some tarot cards on it to fill out the story of what might be going on in Scorpio energy. And since we all have this dualistic nature within us, we're going to read it from both perspectives, because some people have learned to love and believe in themselves. You know, Scorpio can talk about the deepest emotions we have, willing to explore the depths, the emotional highs and lows of life, that it's worth it. And other people decide to live a more emotionally shallow life because they're not willing to, or haven't learned how to love themselves, or don't want to experience a complex emotional life, so they decide to live a more emotionally shallow life. We have happening soon, symphony, yarn, still, and the checkered flag because of fishing pole. Interesting. Well, the yarn kind of makes me think of someone in high vibe. It would be people unraveling their emotions, to be still, to learn the lessons they were meant to learn, maybe because they dug down emotionally to realize what they needed to learn that was causing them to maybe feel tangled up in life. Let's go get clarifiers on it to try to fill it out. So, what's happening soon? Ooh, a tower moment. A tower is like an unexpected event that sheds light on the truth of a foundation. People can continue to be in denial, or they can see the truth. We have free will. We either see the truth that life's about love and building our foundations on love and our relationships on love, because that's what you can build a solid foundation on. Otherwise, you're trying to build a foundation on shifting sand, and you're building relationships on fear or insecurity or pride or ego, selfishness, greed, immaturity. Okay, we have the Four of Swords, the Five of Cups, the World, and the Ten of Wands because of the Virgo energy. The people who are right now, Virgo energy talks about putting in the time, energy, and effort to go within, to gain insight and understanding about our past pain and heartbreak. And the Four of Swords, is reflecting on the truth of past pain and heartbreak, why relationships didn't work out in the past. How did we contribute to relationships not working out in the past? How did other people contribute to relationships not working out? Everybody is at different places in their life. We've all got different levels of our worldly nature, of our fear and our pride or immaturity or indulgent nature, and everybody's there at different places in their life. And we just need to be willing to see the truth and deal with the regrets of the past that we have, so that we can let the past go. The World card talks about Virgo goes within all of us, goes if we're willing to do it. We go within to gain insight and understanding about the past so that we can heal from it. So the World card talks about learning the lessons we were meant to learn, so that we can give it everything we've got to have a brand new inspired beginning in life. And other people, happening soon, some other people, shadowy Virgo energy can be people who are hiding the fact that they're not building their foundation on love, and that they could feel very unstable. And we either take action in truth and love, or in our ego or our defensiveness or our fear or insecurity, we could decide to move forward with our own idea because we think our idea is better, and loving ourselves or taking action in love, we could get hurt. So we're going to move forward with our own idea. And some people's own idea could be that because they have regrets about the past, because the Five of Cups can talk about people being focused on the relationships of the past that didn't work out, that they're not kind of living in the present moment and having hope and faith and belief and not in the energy of love within themselves so that they can look to the future. And because relationships ended, they can just still feel overwhelmed. We're either willing to go within to gain insight and understanding about why, to deal with basically our past pain and heartbreak and see the truth. Otherwise, we're not, and we put an end to taking creative inspired action in our life, and we keep feeling overwhelmed, and we have to keep repeating a pattern of life until we're willing to see the truth. So hopefully some people will see the truth. Other people, because there's always this, we live in a dualistic world, there's going to be some people that think the solution to their feeling overwhelmed is to hide that they feel unstable. They're going to give some thought about what action to take. And because they want their regrets about the past to be done, they're going to maybe take a lot of action, but maybe doing the same old thing they've always done, and they don't realize it's kind of like doing the same old thing over and over and hoping for a different outcome. And that's the definition of insanity, right? But they might go fishing because we either empower ourselves with the truth and we love ourselves and we believe in ourselves, or we look to people outside of us to make us feel better. So they might go fishing, trying to fish for a different relationship and hide the fact that they hide the truth, they hide their regrets, they hide why relationships ended, they hide that they're overwhelmed, and they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over, hoping things will get better without them actually going within to see the truth about why some relationships fell down and healing their past pain and heartbreak so that they can move forward. Some people won't, some people will. Tell us about the Symphony card. I guess the people who aren't healing might try to, if we want to hide the truth that we feel unstable and that we're not healed and we didn't choose to try to heal things with people that we might have hurt and caused regret with, we might try to make a big show of things so that everybody views us as like being very successful. And it's kind of interesting that the clarifier that came out with that is the King of Pentacles. Some people want to hide that they're unstable. They might try to get in a new relationship, maybe with someone who looks very successful and stable in the world. Watch out in case that's you, that someone tries to get in a relationship with you. If you seem to be kind of being very successful and masterful in your life, you're going to have to listen to your intuition if anyone tries to get in a relationship with you. And your intuition was given to you as a gift. So listen to your intuition about people. Are those people, the King of Pentacles holds the pentacle, and we all can take action in the world, and we all take action in masculine energy. So whether this is male or female, if anyone's coming towards you and offering you a new emotional beginning, are they just presenting themselves as someone who's grounded and stable and mature and nurturing? Or is it more hiding behind image and status? Maybe they do have money and materialism and status and image. Do they just present themselves as being all those things, but they're not? Other people might view you as being very stable and nurturing and loving, because the King and Queen of Pentacles is the only married suit of the deck. So we'd hope that in high vibe, If people are a king and queen of pentacles and they're taking grounded, stable action in the world and in their relationships, that they are loving and nurturing and can nurture children and can nurture partners and relationships. Because some people view you that way, they might want to be in a relationship with you because you will provide them a sense of stability and security, maybe make them look like they're very successful in life, but they haven't done the work within themselves. If some of you closed out, some of you are just getting ready to finish out very soon, closing out an old chapter of your life, because you have been taking this time to let old ways of being go and let old foundations go and ways of thinking and perceiving about yourself and the world around you, and you've healed and you've dealt with your regrets and you've closed out that chapter of your life. And it's no longer about being overwhelmed by the past. It's letting the past overwhelm go so that you can have that inspired new beginning. And you could be having a new emotional beginning. It could be in a relationship or it could be at work, because the King of Pentacles is Capricorn energy and it can mean all those things. And there could be something new that you're working on, maybe collaborating together with others to try to bring a new artistic way of being in the world into reality, and you're offering love and moving forward in love in your life. Some other people, like I say, they might be trying to get in a relationship with someone because they're feeling unstable, but they try to hide that from the world. Tell us about the yarn. Kind of split in the middle of the deck. So we have the Two of Wands, the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands again. I have two decks combined here, the same deck combined. And the Two of Pentacles, because, oh my gosh, that's interesting. It split, kind of, the cards flipped over in the middle of the deck. And when it does that, I take both the bottoms of where it split in the deck as the reason it came out. The people that have hope and faith and belief in themselves and love and have closed out old chapters of their life, they are putting in work and effort to work together with other people who've put in work and effort to let go of the past, who are focused on the future, who believe in themselves. And they're making good decisions for themselves, because the Emperor talks about having mastered some issues in your life, no longer letting just your heart run your life, or your mind, or your 3D world, or your passion, or your lust, or whatever run your life. The Emperor makes decisions that are best for the kingdom of self, per se, and making decisions that are best for everyone involved. And you want to work together with other people that are like that, because that's the type of decisions you're making in your life. We have two Aries energy cards here, and it is about, in high vibe, it's about being bold and brave and confident. And that's that Ace of Wands. You have worked through the past so that you can have that inspired new beginning within your own foundation, so that your foundation can take creative, inspired action in the world with other people who are balanced, because you're balanced within yourself. You have the bottom two cards here, the Three of Pentacles, that's Capricorn energy. High vibe Capricorn energy puts work and effort, which we can all tap into. Capricorn's also represented by the Devil card. If we take bold, creative, mature action in our life, making decisions out of love, being grounded, stable, practical, nurturing, and loving to ourselves, we free ourselves from our ego, our fear, our insecurity, our more immature, indulgent nature, and those things are no longer running our life and keeping us limited imprisoned, enslaved, oppressed, fearful. We are balanced within ourselves. And you could be, the Two of Pentacles also has the two boats there out on the emotional waters. And the emotional realm is like our intuitive, creative, imaginative realm. If you thought something you were involved in the past was going to bring your ship of dreams into reality, but it didn't, you're picking up your investment within that dream, and you're working on your balance to bring in, as you maybe put in work and effort to maintain balance within your own foundation. We all have our wants and dreams that we want to bring into reality. That can be kind of our Aries nature, our fiery nature. I desire and am inspired by these things that I want to bring into reality. But in order to bring that into reality, we have to work with the world and the things of the world, but we also need to be bold and brave and creative to go about it in a balanced manner. Because if we don't want to run our life off into the ditch, we've all got things in the world that we lust for and greed for and are passionate about, but are we going to go about it in an unbalanced manner? Well, that can run our life off into the ditch. So, we say, I have a dream that I want to bring into reality, but I'm going to take mature action in how I go about bringing that into reality. I am willing to take bold, creative action in balance. I'm going to do it in a way that is just and fair and loving, where I can feel proud of myself. I'm going to act with character and integrity. I want to bring my dreams into reality, but in a way that is best for my kingdom of self, basically, to move forward in a stable, grounded, practical, creative, inspired, just, fair, balanced manner. And that means we need to take creative action about anything in our life that previously might have had us hung up. And we take that creative action within our own foundation to work together cooperatively between this dualistic nature that we have and our past and our present and our hopes and our dreams. Okay, let's go on to the Still card. That one talks about refinement, culture, fine-tune, purity, filter. Okay, what is the Still card about? The Queen of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Moon card. And the reason is because of the Hierophant. So the Queens in Tarot can talk about our emotional state. So I think some people in Scorpio energy could be trying to quiet their mind and listen more to their heart and their intuition. And I do see the Queen of Cups as Scorpio energy. So being connected in with yourself emotionally and spiritually and intuitively about your philosophy of life. Because the Taurus Hierophant is kind of about relationships and marriages and the world and institutions and business. And if we want to move forward victorious in our life and not operate just from the world and making our life about pride and ego and status and image, we maybe have to quiet our mind and get in tune with ourselves emotionally and intuitively about the type of relationships we want to be in and how we want to present ourselves in the world and how do we really want to walk the talk, basically? Because high vibe Taurus is about putting in the work and effort to act with character and integrity. If we're going to present ourselves as being like a pillar of society, sometimes some people do it and it is just for image and status and money and materialism, and there's no substance behind it, because it's not built on a foundation of love. It's built more on a foundation of pride and ego. Some people could have been living their life like that, and they could have been, because they love the past. The Six of Cups can be, that's how we grow up, and we all grow up in the world, and we all kind of get indoctrinated with that mindset, right? That life's about money and materialism and status and image, and Six of Wands is Leo nature, about pride and ego. Well, was that just a facade? Were we in relationships and in jobs and living our life in a way that we were repeating these patterns of the past and operating more from pride and ego and just presenting an illusion to the world that, we're loyal and committed and stable and hardworking? Some people still want to move forward with that illusion. We'll get to them in a minute. But for the people who closed out a chapter of their life and they don't want to stay in relationships or friendships or workplaces or living their life as a facade or being in relationships with other people where that's the case, because those things haven't worked out in the past. And we had to heal from that. And we had to go within to gain insight and wisdom, because it left us in regret. And if we don't want to keep repeating that way of living our life or that way of being in relationships, we have to offer love to the past so that we can get out of our ego about it, out of our past pain and heartbreak about it. If we were in relationships with people who created an illusion, if we were in relationships with people who love repeating patterns of the past and they harness these energies in a shadowy way and they are kind of stubborn and prideful, or more about their image and their status is the most important thing to them, money and materialism is the most important thing to them instead of love, they love the past foundation and ways of being in the world, and it is a more worldly aligned, that's what governs their decisions in life, is to keep doing things the way they've done it, keep conforming with the world, keep operating from pride and ego, keep maintaining this illusion that they're a pillar of society, and not being truthful and honest and authentic. And the people who have done that or been in relationships like that or been that way themselves, and those people very soon were either willing to put in the work and effort to let go of our illusions about the world and about our ego and our image and the illusions that money and materialism are indulging in things of the world, that it doesn't matter if I don't have love, it doesn't matter if I don't deal with my past pain and heartbreak, all these things of the world will magically make it go away. The people who've lived enough life have realized that your baggage and your fears and your ego and whatever those things are, they just keep following you around, and it keeps causing major disruption in your life, and maybe makes you make decisions and get in relationships out of fear and insecurity or ego, and those relationships don't work out well. Or being in a relationship with other people that we had illusions about that are like that, thinking they would be different, but they're exactly who they were, maybe. The people who saw the truth are letting go of those old foundations and they're moving forward. The other people very soon might experience a major disruption in their life because they were hiding those things and another relationship ended because they're not willing to deal with their past pain and heartbreak. And they keep moving forward in pride and ego and presenting an illusion to the world. And as other people who maybe moved on from them are having new beginnings in work or relationship, who are taking creative, inspired action in their life, who are walking the talk and being bold and brave and confident and not repeating, moving away from these people in their past, stepping out of their comfort zone in the moon card and moving into unknown territory. The other people are like, you're not coming back. I thought maybe if I kind of acted out of pride and ego, and maybe even went and got in other relationships and was bossy and controlling, that maybe over time you would get caught up in your fear and insecurity of continuing to move forward, and you'd come back and be willing to be in a relationship with me anyway and do it my way, where I don't have to put in the work and effort to be bold and brave or open and honest and authentic. And you're not coming back. And for some of them, that could be a major tower moment to realize that people really have moved on. You know, when people are in a relationship, they have the free will choice to be open and honest and authentic and loving, or they can take some action that is not conducive to a healthy relationship, that could cause the relationship to blow apart. And in their pride and ego, they think that they could take action hiding that they're in regret, but they're willing to let the relationship go, and then they go repeat the same old patterns. And they kind of think if they keep operating out of pride and ego and stubbornness, that some people would be willing to give up on their dreams and come back and be willing to do the relationship the way they want to do it, where they keep being unstable, where they keep maybe being manipulative, they keep making decisions out of pride and ego. And some people maybe did come back, and other people didn't. And for the people who didn't go back to someone, those people could be having a major tower moment, because they see that you've put an end to maybe communicating with them or taking action towards them, because the wands can mean all those kind of things, because you've went within and you've healed from your past pain and heartbreak. And when we heal from our past pain and heartbreak, we're no longer interested in repeating those patterns of relationship with people. And the people who see that you've healed could feel overwhelmed that you went within to gain insight and understanding, because you're no longer in your fear and insecurity or your competitive nature or your pride or your ego. And then they can't play on your fear, your insecurity, your pride and ego. And it's over. And then they're overwhelmed and they have to go back to where they came from. And just, I guess, if that's their free will choice, that, oh, you ended things? Oh, okay, well then I guess I'll just continue to hide and figure out who I can take action towards next and continue to hide that I haven't dealt with my issues. And some of those people might go decide that they're going to love money and materialism and try to look like they're very successful in the world and hide their instability, or they're going to go get in a relationship with someone else who seems to be very successful in the world, and then hopefully that will make them look very successful. They might use their sexuality to get what they want in a relationship, and they're going to continue to juggle and go back and forth, presenting themselves as being like truthful and honest and character and integrity, but really it's more about them being defensive, because we're either moving forward in truth and love or in our ego and our emotional defensive nature or our egocentric nature. It's all about protecting ourselves at all costs and our image and being protected and not letting our more emotionally authentic, vulnerable nature out in the world, or it's about indulging in the world and it's all my way or the highway. And some of those people are going to repeat a pattern of the past because they still love living their life that way and making their life about defensiveness or ego or image and money and materialism. And they're going to keep, being caught up in the illusion of the world. And they still have lessons to learn that, there's nothing new. Well, the moon card can be where there's things buried in people's subconscious. The Tower card is the universe, keeps disrupting their life, trying to get them to see the truth so that they can heal from past pain and heartbreak and put an end to it. But for some people, the thought of going within and self-reflecting on the past. Some people never plan to self-reflect in their life. You know, some people are like, it's over, it's done, I'm done. And they just don't want to even deal with it anymore. Well, if you keep bearing your issues or your fears or your insecurity or your prideful or self-centered nature or bossy controlling nature, it's going to keep being shown to you over and over and over in your relationships. And they're going to be unstable, and, you know, they're going to feel unstable because they're not, you know, within us we have our worldly nature of all those ways of being, but we also have our divine nature of intuition that wants us to grow to our full potential. And we can keep ignoring it, but we're battling within ourselves. We're hiding, not willing to put in the work and effort to heal, to meditate on the truth, thinking we know better. We can put an end to our regret by really taking some maybe creative action in our life to try to hide the truth, either indulging in the world or money and materialism or in relationships with other people. You know, and it does give you a high for a while, it makes you feel great for a while, but then all those issues bubble back up to the surface, or you keep repeating the same old patterns, you know, and you're kind of not living your life authentically. The moon card can be about people presenting an illusion in a relationship, in a workplace, and how they present themselves to the world. And it's all just an illusion. They have all this inner chaos maybe going on within them because they're not, you know, who would make their life all just about that the major deciding factor in their life is ego or money and materialism or defensiveness. I don't think you'd do that if you knew how to love yourself. I think you'd know you're worth more than that. That you wouldn't get in relationships just to feel stable within yourself. And if you don't use loving, supportive environments that you're within to heal yourself, you keep trying to. The moon card can be about people who keep their emotions hidden beneath the surface. You know, and that can be shadowy Scorpio energy. I don't deal with my emotions. I live an emotionally shallow life. Life's just about death, sex, and taxes. Who can I get in a relationship with that will let me operate from pride and ego and keep my emotions buried? Who will kind of enable me to be like that? Well, that would be someone who's equally out of balance as they are. High vibe people who love themselves, who've put in the work and effort to reconcile them with the past and not have a lot of inner conflict, who trust their intuition. Those people wouldn't keep enabling people that are in poor behavior. You offer people love and encouragement and support, and at a certain point in time when it becomes so obvious that they're not putting in work and effort to heal and grow, and they keep being more focused on the past and the things that didn't work out than being in the present moment, you know, eventually you got to say, I wish you peace, but, you know, I'm moving forward in love, and it's a free will choice. I wish you peace. I hope you choose love. But if you don't, you know, I have a dream. And my dream is to be in relationships with other people who make decisions that are best for everyone involved. People who take creative, inspired action in their relationships and within themselves to be balanced, to be just and fair. I shouldn't have to enable somebody being prideful or immature or indulgent or selfish or greedy or bossy or controlling. That's an injustice. So I wish you peace. My foundation is going to either get a new job if it was a workplace, get in new relationships, maybe leave one relationship to work on my own foundation getting balanced. Because if I've been enabling poor behavior in others, then I might love the past, a past that I could have been in a relationship or a marriage with or a workplace. But if my intuition is telling me it's time for me to take creative, inspired action to move forward in my life, I'm going to listen to my intuition because I believe that's a gift given to me by the divine. I can ignore it, and things usually don't go well in my life when I ignore my intuition. So tell us about the checkered flag. For some people, if you thought you were hoping maybe to have a new beginning with someone, you know, the fishing card kind of reminds me of Pisces, because Pisces is represented by the fish. And the fish is sometimes that we can have illusions about people. And we have free will. We can either see the truth about people or we can be in illusions about them. And I think the divine wants us to be in the energy of love and hope and faith and belief, and not to be in illusions. Be loving and respectful to people, but it's just unfair for you to be in relationships with other people who take stable, grounded, nurturing action and love. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Bible story when Jesus told the people to go out and spread the good news. You know, you go to people's house, you offer them the good news. If they reject the good news, you dust the dirt of their house off of your feet. You basically wish them peace, and you go find the people in the world who are receptive to love. Because that would be us hanging around and indulging people who are in shadowy energy. And indulging people who are in shadowy energy that aren't why are they indulging in shadowy energy? You know, it's spiritual warfare that people got to battle out within themselves. And if they're not putting in work and effort to heal, you know, we can't make people heal from their past pain and heartbreak. It could be at this point in time they find it too overwhelming to see the truth. Maybe they grew up in foundations where people emotionally invest in the world. That's what's valuable to them. Maybe love and being authentic isn't what's valuable to them. Maybe they grew up in families or communities where people emotionally invest in people because of their status or because of their wealth. You know, they'd have to be willing to see the truth of that in order to break free of it. You know, we have to die to our more worldly nature to give birth to our more seeing life from a higher perspective. Not making our worth and value based on what we own and what we wear and what we drive and how much money we have in the bank. You know, it's knowing we're valuable. And when we get in alignment with the divine and are in the energy of love, we're in the flow of the universe. And we'll be tapped into our creativity and our imagination. And the divine can open up doors for us that we never could have even opened up on our own in our prideful way, thinking we know better. Tell us about the fishing pole. But needless, as you were moving forward in your life, there could have been people, children, parents, siblings in your life that you wish would quit indulging themselves in their more stubborn, prideful, or worldly nature. And you wish they would be willing to get out of their ego or their inner conflict and listen to their intuition. But we can't make people do that. So we listen to our own intuition and say, I choose to be in life-giving energy. If you decide you ever want to be in life-giving energy of love, well, some people's dream, and because the Aquarius star is about our dreams too, some people are really inspired and motivated in the Knight of Wands to look like a shining star in the world, to look really successful. And they've decided they're just going to go after that, and they'll just try to balance out their emotions if that's what choice they decided to make. And the divine's going to work with them. You know, the star and the temperance card are both universe cards. We have to have trust and faith and belief. It's kind of in the Leo sun energy. That we can offer love to people, but if people reject it, we wish them peace. And we move on with our life. The divine is going to try to guide people who are still repeating patterns of behavior that aren't, where they're not living life to their full potential of all they can be, because the divine wants them to live their life to their full potential. But people have free will. And if they're still inspired by the world, everybody's got free will. It all serves a purpose. We can see different people in the world and what they're inspired by and what they love and don't love and what they value and what they don't value. The divine's going to work with them to try to balance out their strong emotions. Because why wouldn't everybody choose love and being authentic? Probably because they've been hurt before and it kicked them up in their pride and ego and defensiveness. So they've just decided to make life about indulging in relationships or make their life about money and materialism and status and image. Because at least then, if those relationships don't work out, they don't have any skin in the game and they feel like they can emotionally withstand that not working out. But to be in a relationship maybe where they haven't learned how to love and believe in themselves, and if they were to get in a relationship with people that they really had skin in the game with, if that didn't work out, it could devastate them because they haven't worked on an emotional, being strong emotionally within themselves. So they'd rather be in relationships that are more superficial or shallow and just balance out their emotions, that they're maybe willing to use their sexuality to look very, and maybe that's how some people grew up thinking life is too, that you get in relationships, you use your sexuality to feel better, and you never do inner work, and you're always hoping that being in that relationship will magically solve your problems. And some people, are really motivated by pride and ego. To them, that is the finish line. To be in a relationship that in ego makes them look like they're really successful in the world. That's what they are aligned with. The Two of Cups, it's kind of like, what do I love? People love different things. Some people love money and materialism. Some people, want to be in relationships based on love. Some people don't. If any of you were hoping someone you could have a new beginning with, that you hoped a dream would come into reality with, that you hoped that they would balance out their strong emotions and take creative inspired action in their life. Some people don't like to take creative inspired action in their life. Some people have grown up in very, the King of Pentacles and the Hierophant, very, they're bundled up in the world. It is all about shadowy Capricorn energy. It's also represented by the devil in tarot, but it also can be people who, they're just so caught up in the matrix of the world and the illusions of the world, and they haven't learned that having all those things in the world, even if they grew up in a family and that's how they did things in the family they grew up within, and they loved that family that they grew up within, they maybe didn't really see or want to acknowledge some things about that type of dynamic that they keep hidden, because maybe people they grew up with worked together with people because, and it did maybe have a lot of status and image, but there was kind of some things hidden about it, that it was kind of more maybe about image and status. For some people to acknowledge that to themselves, I don't know, would destabilize them. So, the universe is going to try to show them the truth. And maybe even by you moving forward in your life the way you do will be what illuminates the truth to them. When you're living your life truthful and honestly, and you're not presenting a facade and making your life about image and status, and, those aren't why you're making decisions in your life, kind of highlights maybe for them what is driving their decisions. And for some of them, in their ego, it makes them mad. And they keep making more decisions out of pride and ego because you seem to be shining bright and authentic way. Theirs is more of an illusion, and they're working very hard to outshine you. But the way they might do it, you're investing in love. They're investing maybe in the world or in a relationship to make them look like they're shining bright. We either empower ourselves or we look to people outside of us to empower us. And that's a feeling of disempowerment because we only have that for as long as those things outside of us last. And inside we could feel very unstable if we never learn to align with loving ourselves. Very soon, some people are definitely detaching from repeating patterns of the past because they have gained insight and clarity. And those people have listened to the music and their intuition, getting in flow. And those people are moving forward in love, and they're taking creative action within their foundations to get balanced. And they're offering love to the past. They're offering love to their own philosophy of life so that they can move forward in a bold, brave, confident manner. And they will have crossed the finish line because they have been illuminated to the truth that life's about love and believing in your dreams and not abandoning your dreams because of pride or ego or image or status. And the people who haven't done that could feel overwhelmed that other people have moved on from them, and they will keep emotionally investing in the world, getting in relationships because of status and image, and they might use their sexuality to balance things out with some other people in the world who might make their life based on those same factors. And in the quiet moments, those people might realize that there are things being hidden, or that it's an illusion. But in their pride and ego, they're going to keep moving forward with those because their end goal is to look like they're successful. And some people might feel that to look successful in the world, they have to be in a relationship. So they're going to, I think, use their sexuality to try to balance things out with someone else who looks very successful in the world. Just don't let the people who are trying to find someone to provide that for them be you. Listen to your intuition. And if you see that maybe as you take time to get to know someone, if you see that this, whoever it could be, is repeating some patterns of relationship that you've already lived through and you have no interest in repeating those type of patterns, that you would be bold and brave and strong enough to keep moving forward, listening to your intuition. Because the divine has loving, creative relationships of your dreams in store for you. And we can't give up on our dreams out of comfort or stability or whatever. Listen to your intuition to guide you. So there you go, Scorpio. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.